When your dog gives you that side eye, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Most people laugh it off as attitude. It looks like judgment, like your dog is silently saying, "Really? That's what you're doing?" But behind that tiny glance, behind that subtle shift of the eyes, there's something deeper that almost nobody talks about. It's one of the most emotionally loaded signals your dog can give you. And if you misunderstand it, which most owners do, you might be missing moments where your dog is trying to communicate uncertainty, trust, or even quiet discomfort. What looks like a simple glance is actually a language, a precise, evolved system of communication that dogs have been using long before they ever lived with humans. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. 1. It's not attitude. It's a soft form of communication, that sideways glance your dog gives you. It's not sass, it just looks like it. Humans rely heavily on facial expressions. We interpret eyes, eyebrows, subtle shifts in expression as emotional signals. So when a dog looks at us from the corner of their eye, we project our own meaning onto it. We assume attitude. But here's what's actually happening. Dogs don't communicate like humans. They don't roll their eyes. They don't judge your decisions. Their communication is rooted in survival, safety, and emotional balance. That side eye is what behaviorists call a soft signal. It's your dog saying, "I'm aware of you, but I'm not fully committing to this interaction yet." Instead of staring directly, which can feel intense or confrontational in the animal world, they angle their gaze. They reduce pressure. Think about that for a second. Your dog is actively choosing a gentler way to communicate with you. They're avoiding escalation. They're keeping things calm. What looks like distance is actually restraint, and that restraint is intentional. 2. The science of eye contact. Why dogs look away now. Here's where it gets even more interesting. A 2019 study from the University of Helsinki found that dogs deliberately avoid direct eye contact in situations where they feel uncertain or socially pressured. Not because they're guilty, but because they're trying to regulate the interaction. In simple terms, they're trying to keep things peaceful. Direct eye contact in the canine world can be a challenge. A stare can signal tension, dominance, or even a potential threat. So instead of staring back at you, your dog adjusts. They soften their gaze. They look sideways. They disengage just enough to prevent discomfort. That's the side eye. It's part of a system scientists call calming signals, a set of behaviors dogs use to de-escalate situations before they become stressful. Think about the emotional weight of that. Your dog isn't reacting impulsively. They're making a decision in real time to keep things stable between you. They're managing the relationship. And they're doing it instinctively. 3. They're reading you more closely than you think. Here's what most people don't realize. Your dog doesn't just react to what you do. They react to how you feel. Subtle changes in your posture, your breathing, the way you shift your weight. Your dog notices all of it. Research in canine cognition has shown that dogs can detect emotional changes in humans through body language and even scent cues linked to stress hormones. So when you're tense, distracted, slightly irritated, your dog knows. And that side eye, it's them processing you. They're not judging you. They're analyzing the situation. Are you calm? Is something wrong? Do I need to be cautious? That small glance is hesitation, awareness, observation. It's your dog taking a moment to understand before reacting, which means something important. Your dog doesn't just live around you. They live in response to you. And that makes every small signal they give you matter more than you think. Now, before we keep going, if you're learning something new about your dog, hit like and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more dog owners who want to truly understand their pets. 4. This behavior comes from ancient survival instincts. To really understand the side-eye, you have to go back thousands of years. Long before dogs lived in homes, they lived in packs. In the wild, survival depended on reading others correctly. One wrong signal, one misinterpreted stare, could lead to conflict, injury, or worse. So canines evolved a safer system. Instead of confronting directly, they observed indirectly. They watched without escalating. That sideways glance wasn't just useful, it was necessary. And even today, that instinct hasn't disappeared. Your dog still carries it. So when they give you that side eye, they're not just reacting to the moment. They're using a communication strategy shaped by generations of survival. And here's the part that changes everything. They're choosing to use that system with you. You are part of their social structure, their pack. And they are instinctively trying to keep that relationship stable. That's not distance, that's respect. 5. They don't do this with everyone. Watch your dog around strangers. You'll notice something different. They may avoid eye contact completely, or they might stare more directly, more cautiously. There's less subtlety, less nuance. But with you? You get the side eye. That's not random. Dogs don't use refined communication with just anyone. That kind of behavior is reserved for relationships where there is familiarity and emotional investment. Think about that for a second. Your dog is adjusting how they communicate based on who you are to them. They trust you enough to be subtle. They trust you enough to expect understanding. That means when your dog gives you that sideways glance, it's not a sign of disconnection. It's a sign of engagement. They are interacting with you in a more complex, more thoughtful way. And most owners completely miss it. 6. The signal most people ignore. Until it's too late. Here's the part that matters the most. That side eye rarely comes alone. If you pay close attention, you'll often see other signals with it. A small yawn, a quick lip lick, a shift in posture. Maybe your dog turns their head slightly or avoids getting closer. These are all part of the same system. They are calming signals. Your dog is telling you something important. I'm not fully comfortable right now. Not scared. Not aggressive, just unsure. And they're trying to handle that feeling without conflict. Think about that. Your dog is actively trying to prevent things from escalating. They're trusting you to understand. But when those signals get ignored, when people keep approaching, keep staring, keep pushing interaction, that's when things change. Because when soft communication fails, dogs escalate. Not because they want to, but because they feel like they have no other option left. So that tiny side eye, that was the first message, the earliest signal, the quietest way your dog could say, "Please slow down." And if you catch it in that moment, you don't just avoid problems, you build trust. 7. What it means for your relationship. So what does all of this actually mean? It means your dog is constantly communicating with you, not loudly, not dramatically, but in subtle, intentional ways that are easy to miss if you're not looking for them. That side eye is one of those signals. It's your dog thinking before reacting. It's your dog choosing calm over conflict. It's your dog trying to stay connected with you, even when they feel uncertain. And once you start noticing it, everything shifts. You stop reacting. You start understanding. You give them space when they need it. You respond instead of interrupt. And in doing that, you change how your dog sees you, not just as someone they live with, but as someone who listens. So when your dog gives you that side eye, what are they really saying? They're not judging you. They're not being dramatic. They're not showing attitude. They're communicating. They're observing, processing, adjusting. That glance is a moment of awareness, a moment of emotional intelligence, a moment where your dog is choosing a softer, safer way to interact with you. And that changes everything, because that small behavior, the one most people laugh at, was never small to them. It was thoughtful, it was intentional, and it was meant for you. And once you see it that way, you don't just notice your dog more, you understand them.